How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today's video, we're simply going to be getting into two things. The first of which being the crypto market update, why I'm so bullish and a sea of red, as well as, a lot of fear within the markets, as well as getting into a completely another segment where we're strictly going to be talking about risk-taking strategies, risk management strategies that you can enact in order to make sure that you're profiting not only as much as you can, but also just operating as safely as you can within the markets, because I don't want you guys making dumb decisions. But nothing we're going to be getting into is financial advice. It's strictly what I do myself and lessons I've learned from those who have way more money than me and who have lost way more money than me. So with all that aside, let's jump into the crypto market update and kind of discuss where we're at as a whole within the markets. First of all, as a whole, the markets right now, Bitcoin seems to be potentially on the uptrend within a couple of weeks to this upcoming week that we have ahead of us. And that's done from some TA I've been seeing across the internet and through groups like Kaizen. It seems like Bitcoin could be about to make another move up. So that's of course great to see because of Bitcoin dominance being as high as that it is right now. We could see alts follow suit with Bitcoin. So of course that would be good for our alts. However, let's talk about a certain sector of alts that have been doing very, very poorly and have got absolutely slaughtered based off of the current price action and everything that's been happening within the market. So that's going to be AI agents. Most notably, Crow. AIXBT has been pretty slaughtered as well. But Crow itself, we saw this go to 2 cents and now it's 0.003 cents. However, this coin has immense utility, hence why I'm buying more of this token, even at these levels. I think this is a steal. If you just zoom out and see the bigger picture, assuming we see AI agents get more attention back to them, Crow, in my opinion, is going to run up. But almost certainly the coins in the AI agent space that have the best chance of running up, essentially if we get eyes back onto AI agents, which I think they do because of how much utility they provide, are the actual coins that do provide the utility. And that is coins like Crow. Crow is literally providing TA to people in order for them to make profits. Like, that is severe utility right there. And right now the market is heavily undervaluing that. That should be valued at least above 100 million market cap, and we're below 10 million market cap. So that's an example right there where, a lot of coins right now, especially the AI agents, are severely undervalued. But again, there's some that are completely useless that have like meme ties to them in terms of being an AI agent. Those, most likely, we could see no recovery from those, or maybe not as strong as a recovery as you do from those that actually have fundamental use. So that's my thoughts on that. But yeah, crypto market currently, Bitcoin looks pretty good in terms of the chart. I see a potential move up happening within the next week to next couple of weeks. So that's of course great. But it's been bouncing back and forth within this space for a pretty long time now, and we still have yet to see this alt season. And again, no matter what happens, I just like to point out the fact that this alt season, if you want to even call it that, we technically haven't even seen an alt season yet, but this market as a whole, we've been able to see major profits regardless of us even having an alt season. We've still seen major profits in some coins. There's been lots of opportunities. Even on this channel, we've called out to profit off of stuff. So assuming we don't see this bull run as significant as the previous, it'll be interesting to see what that kind of, or how that kind of plays out within the next 4 years, if that makes sense. Is it going to be explosive because there really wasn't action happening here? Or what if it's delayed a year? There's like a ton of different events that could fold out into place, but we've talked about literally the only reason that the 2020 to 2021 markets saw very, very, very positive price action, specifically altcoins, is because people expected them to. Literally, the 4-year cycle thing was already a thing back in that time. and people expected coins to do well, so they bought the coins, and more people bought the coins because they expect them to do well, which continued to drive up price. Like, if you understand basic macroeconomics, expectations are one of the biggest parts of our economy and within these markets. So again, if the majority of people expect things to drop very drastically, then they will drop very drastically. Now, you could say, well, if we have 60% of holders who have more than $10,000 invested within the markets are positive on the markets. However, 90% of holders who have less than $10,000 are negative on the markets. It really doesn't matter, because the group who has more money, so you have two sides. You have the good side who sees things continuing to move on forward, and then you have the bad side who sees bad things starting to happen or potentially happening, right? So that's 90% of people who have less than 10,000. So that's someone maybe with $100, $5,000, whatever it is. Then you have the $10,000 up group, 60% of them who maybe, literally ranges from 10,000 up to a couple $1 million within the markets. A couple $1 million from one wallet holder literally would outtake, maybe 10% or 5% of the entirety of the holders in the other side. So even though you have a ton of people saying, oh, things don't look good, the top is in, yet you have the majority of the wealthy holders saying the top is not in, that's where you should be looking. You should not be looking at the people who have $10,000 to their name, calling the top. It doesn't make sense. You need to be looking at where the majority of money is. So simply doing those things will give you a very, very big edge on the markets, because then you're not listening to the majority of people who don't have that much money within the markets, who don't have as much experience within the markets, who are saying for you to leave the markets because the top is in, then you ultimately do and join their numbers. Whereas the people who are worth over $10,000 are continuing to load up on dips that you yourself are causing. Look at it that way and you'll start to understand how these markets actually work. And most of the time, it can happen the other way as well. The majority of not so wealthy holders will predict things to go very well, while the majority of very wealthy holders will see things going very poorly. So then they will crush those who have those high dreams. Those are a couple of things to take note of. So make sure you're looking in places where people have way more money than you do. That's all you have to do. And it has to be majority, because some people can sell you dreams while some people are going to tell the truth. You have to find where the majority is thinking, guys, and that will give you a severe edge. And so that's kind of my thoughts on the current status of the crypto market. And that kind of does tie into the risk mitigation. However, risk mitigation, there's so many things I could talk about, having learned lessons on my own and having learned from the lessons of others. The first thing is to not ever over trade an amount that you are not comfortable with. Why? Because then that leads to you trading with emotions. And I have lost thousands of dollars trading with emotions. Now I trade logically and I've made a lot more money. But because I used to trade with emotions, what would end up happening is I'd see a potential opportunity to quickly 5x my money. I'd throw it into there, lose my other convictions. And this was really not something that I had even looked into. This was a project that I did zero research on. I completely threw my money into it because I was promised a quick 2 to 5x, but I didn't do my own research, right? So I know nothing about this token other than the fact that shortly it will 2 to 5x. But because then I start looking at that project I left, right? I look at the project that I left to join this opportunity, and I start to see the project I just went into go down, and I start to see the project that I was in start to go up. So in that motion-filled trade, what I ended up actually doing is I'll sell this one at a loss and buy back into the other one at a profit. So, and then I'll buy back in on this one, and I'll essentially have had less than I would if I just literally would have kept it into the coin. So that is one of the biggest things that I see traders make, as well as myself. If you want to add 2 positions like that, maybe that's a short term 2 to 5x that's promised, and you want to be dumb and you want to risk it without doing your own research. If you do your own research and it checks out, then go for it. But either way, the importance is having cash on the side, again, that you not want to lose, or that you'd be fine losing, that you can then take that and apply it to that opportunity rather than sacrificing your positions in these other projects, because you are going to feel so guilty. You're going to feel so depressed if you made that swap and all of a sudden that project that you've been convicted on for months starts to pump and never goes back to that level again. That is one of the biggest things that I see people mess up on, and it literally does make a lot of people quit. I've seen people quit because of things like that, because of their own dumb emotion trades that end up screwing everything up. So that's something that you need to understand. Don't chase projects like that, but make sure to hold your convictions. And if there's new opportunities that come up, have that cash on the side to put into those new positions, because you shouldn't be exiting out of your projects that you're in unless there's a very drastic reason. You have like a stop loss set in place that you need to pull out because it's almost like a point of no return, or the fact is that you have profit targets set up that you literally are just going to wait till those profit targets hit, and they're smart, calculated profit targets, assuming markets do well, right? So if you approach it that way, you're going to mitigate so much risk, and that's like literally the biggest thing that I see people do. They lose so much money trading like that. I've lost so much money trading like that. You get hit hard with fees as well, lose thousands that way. So that is simply something to keep mind of and apply to your trading. If you can do things like that, you are going to be so much more wealthy than someone who is emotionally trading, swapping their money around over and over and over again. It's not going to work well for them. But again, be cautious and do your research on tokens. So that is my little tangent on risk mitigation. I just say that's my only point I'm going to bring up on it. I covered a lot, and that's essentially the main point that you should be getting across. If you can do that, you're really going to be fine. Nonetheless, I mean, I give you simple stuff like checking the token on Token Sniffer to make sure that, you know, it's not a scam, but you should be doing that anyway. This is really just something no one really thinks about, and they have to learn it the hard way, as I've had. So that's a lesson that you have to learn there. It will save you thousands of dollars, especially if you're trading with thousands of dollars. Could even save you millions of dollars once you get there. So definitely something to keep in mind. I've heard the same thing from other wealthy individuals. So that's going to be it for me today, guys. Hope you guys took something away from this. And without further ado, I'll see you guys later.